Hello, I'd like to thank all the members of the design team for being here today. I will be discussing the choices that I made while creating the infographic for the Anthropocene mass extinction regarding both content and design. I will begin with the decisions that I made for content. I chose to begin the infographic with a brief overview of the geological timescale and previous mass extinction events. This information is necessary to include for people to understand the context of the current extinction event. The next section discussed the correlation between human populations and extinction rates throughout time. The strong correlation has led to the extinction being named the Anthropocene. In addition to the trends throughout time, I also chose to compare today's extinction rates to the expected background extinction rate in a graphical manner. This illustrates the significance of the problem. The last piece of information in this section is the number of threatened species on the planet. And this is just included to further illustrate the problem. The next section is the major threats to species. This is to inform people of what is causing the problem itself and to provide a starting point for research should the readers look into the problem. The final section shows the extinction risk of significant animal groups. I chose to talk about mammals, birds, amphibians, reptiles, and fish because these are the groups that most people are the most concerned about conserving. I'll now talk about the design choices that I made throughout this. I chose to break the infographic into subunits using different blocks of information. This allows the reader to follow the sections and identify the beginning of a new topic. For the colors, I chose greens, yellow, and blue to fit a nature-like scheme. This was appropriate because the extinction of species affects many aspects of the environment. I used red to represent extinction rates and threatened species throughout the document. According to color theory, red represents extreme situations, which is why I found it appropriate to represent these statistics. When using pie charts, like in here, I used the Earth as the number of species that remained after an extinction event because the presence of life is one of the defining characteristics of the Earth. In situations where values were compared on magnitude, such as the extinction rates and the threats to species, I varied the size of the object to represent the difference in severity. The final design aspect that I used in the creation of this infographic was the variation in font sizes. The information values were larger in font size to guide the viewers to these values, such as these percentages here and the total number of threatened species, and the smaller font in between is less important, and that's also used for the background information. So in conclusion, I chose key points to discuss the severity of the extinction event and used color theory and schematics to guide the reader through the infographic. Thank you for listening.